What if one quiet cup before bed could gently lift the veil and invite a different kind of seeing? Tonight, I'll walk you through 7 ancestral drinks, herbal teas, and sacred infusions that people have used for centuries to sharpen dream recall, deepen intuition, and coax the third eye toward waking life. I'll share history, simple preparations, timing, safety notes, and how to turn a cup into a small ritual of attention. Comment below which of these you've tried, and if you want step-by-step protocols, meditations, and safety checklists, check the Herbs Code Guide, link in the pinned comment. I'm Eduarda. I've spent years learning from elders, herbalists, and ceremonial practitioners, and I bring this knowledge to you with humility and care. First, a short primer. When people speak of the third eye, they often mean a symbolic doorway to inner sight, dream clarity, subtle intuition, and the felt sense of guidance. Biologically, the pineal gland is a tiny structure in the brain linked to sleep and circadian rhythms. Tradition and some research connect it to dream chemistry and altered states, but many details remain debated. So let's hold science and myth side by side, curious, respectful, and cautious. Before we begin, a brief note on safety and consent. If you are pregnant, nursing, taking medications, or have a psychiatric diagnosis, consult a healthcare professional before using any of these herbs. Some of these plants are household allies, others belong in ceremonial settings or have legal restrictions. We'll make those distinctions clearly as we go. How herbs relate to dreams and the third eye. Herbs can support sleep architecture, soften the nervous system, alter perception's texture, and heighten dream recall. Some herbs seem to nudge the mind into richer hypnagogic states, the images and impressions at the edge of sleep, while others quiet the busy day so intuition can surface. A few traditional claims touch on biochemical ideas. Some studies suggest links between certain plants and sleep-related hormones. Traditional accounts and contemporary reports often mention deeper imagery and symbolic dreams. Remember, while many people report changes, none of these drinks guarantees visions or permanent psychic openings. The work is always an invitation, not a promise. Now, 7 plant drinks to explore. For each, I'll offer a short cultural note, reported effects, an easy home preparation where appropriate, timing and frequency suggestions, safety cautions, and a gentle ritual practice you can try. 1. Artemisia, mugwort or wormwood family. Anecdote and context. Artemisia has a long history across Eurasia and the Americas. In classical lore, it's linked to Artemis and thresholds, she who walks the edge between day and night. In Europe, mugwort was once carried as a dream aid, stitched into pillows or hung over doorways to protect sleepers. Because of its strong influence on dreams, it earned a reputation as forbidden or witch's herb in some eras. Reported effects. Many people use Artemisia for vivid dreaming, lucid dream induction, and improved dream recall. It often colors dreams with symbolic imagery and can make images feel sharper on waking. For some, it creates a sense of walking between waking and sleeping, a liminal clarity. Preparation, simple infusion. 1 teaspoon dried Artemisia, mugwort, per cup, 240 ml of boiling water. Steep covered for 5 to 10 minutes, then strain. Drink a small cup 30 to 60 minutes before you intend to sleep. Timing and frequency. Use Artemisia occasionally rather than every night. Start with 1 to 3 times per week and observe how your dreams shift. If you notice overly intense nights, reduce frequency. Safety and cautions. Artemisia contains compounds that can be stimulating and, in some cases, irritating. Do not use during pregnancy or while breastfeeding. If you have liver issues, are on medication, or have epilepsy, consult a healthcare professional before trying it. Start with a small cup and gauge your sensitivity. Ritual suggestion. Brew your cup with intention. Light a small candle, sit quietly for a minute, and state inwardly what you hope to receive: clarity, healing images, or gentle guidance. Keep a dream journal at your bedside. Write a phrase on the first page. What wants to be seen? And let that question rest in your sleep. 2. Lemongrass, Capim limo. Anecdote and context. Lemongrass carries a bright, citrusy scent and is used in many indigenous and folk traditions for calming and clearing. In Brazilian and other South American cultures, it has been used to cleanse the mind and prepare sleepers for gentle inner work. Reported effects. Lemongrass tends to quiet the mental chatter that keeps us awake. People report more settled sleep, easier slipping into hypnagogia, the doorway into dream, and improved dream recall, simply because they rest more deeply. Preparation: stovetop infusion. 1 tablespoon fresh chopped lemongrass or 1 teaspoon dried per cup of water. Bring to a simmer for 5 minutes, then cover and steep another 5 minutes. Strain and drink warm. Timing and frequency. Lemongrass is mild and generally safe for regular use. You can enjoy it nightly as part of a wind-down routine, up to 3 to 4 times per week, or even every evening if it suits you. Safety and cautions. Generally considered safe for most adults. If you are pregnant, nursing, or taking medications, check with a healthcare provider. People with low blood pressure should monitor their response, as lemongrass can have calming effects. Ritual suggestion. Before bed, sip lemongrass while doing a short breath practice. Inhale for 4 counts, exhale for 6, 3 times. Imagine each exhale softening the day's tension. Whisper a small gratitude for whatever the night might bring. 3. Mint plus rosemary combo. Anecdote and context. Mint and rosemary have long been paired for clarity and purification, used in temple rites, rooms of study, and folk medicine. Rosemary, in particular, carried symbolic associations with remembrance and remembrance of the soul, while mint refreshes the mind. Reported effects. This combo tends to sharpen waking intuition and can be excellent earlier in the evening when you want to practice lucid dreaming techniques or guided visualization. It's more clarifying than sedating. Use it when you want a clear but receptive mind rather than heavy sleep. Preparation: clarity tea. 1 teaspoon dried mint, peppermint or spearmint, plus 1/2 teaspoon dried rosemary per cup. Pour boiling water, steep covered 5 to 8 minutes, then strain. Timing and frequency. Drink in the early evening, about 60 to 90 minutes before bed if you plan a meditation or lucid practice, or earlier in the evening if you prefer. Use up to 3 times per week. Avoid taking it immediately before sleep if you find it invigorating. Safety and cautions. Mint is generally safe. Rosemary in large quantities may not be suitable for pregnancy. If you have high blood pressure, seizures, or are on multiple medications, consult a provider before regular rosemary use. Start conservatively. Ritual suggestion. Use this tea as a clarity practice. Sip it while reviewing your day and setting a short intention for your dream work. One question you want your dreams to address. This keeps dreaming purposeful rather than purely recreational. 4. Lavender, alphazema. Anecdote and context. Lavender has been woven into sleep practices across cultures, dried in pillows, steeped in baths, used in temple offerings. Its scent carries a softening quality and invites the mind to let go of the day's grip. Reported effects. Lavender is gentle, good for inducing hypnagogic softness and easing the transition into dream. It often brings symbol-rich but not overwhelming dream imagery and can improve dream recall simply by improving sleep quality. Preparation: gentle night infusion. 1 teaspoon dried lavender flowers per cup of hot water. Steep 5 to 8 minutes, strain, and sip 20 to 30 minutes before bed. Timing and frequency. Safe for nightly use for most people. Try it as part of a regular wind-down routine, up to nightly if it supports your sleep. Safety and cautions. Lavender is widely regarded as safe, but if you are pregnant or breastfeeding, check with your healthcare provider. Rare allergic reactions can occur. Try a small cup first. If you take sedative medications, be mindful of additive effects and consult a professional. Ritual suggestion. Brew lavender and place your journal and pen beside your cup. After sipping, close your eyes and spend 2 minutes visualizing a doorway. Imagine the door is painted with a color that feels like the answer you seek. Walk toward it 3 times in your mind, each time breathing deeper. 5. Damiana. Anecdote and context. Damiana is a plant native to Mexico and Central America, historically used by indigenous peoples for energy, mild euphoric uplift, and to open the heart and imagination. It has a soft, expansive quality in ceremonial contexts. Reported effects. People who use Damiana report a gentle loosening of mental edges, more fluid imagery, a lighter mood, and sometimes improved dream vividness. It is often described as warming and receptive rather than overtly visionary. Preparation, ritual cup. 1 teaspoon dried Damiana per cup of hot water. Steep 5 to 10 minutes, strain, sip 30 to 60 minutes before bed. Timing and frequency. Use Damiana as an occasional ritual. 1-2 times per week is a good starting point. Overuse can dull sensitivity for some, so keep it special rather than nightly. Safety and cautions. Do not use Damiana if you are pregnant or breastfeeding. Discuss with a healthcare professional if you are taking medications. Damiana can have psychoactive properties for some people. If you have a history of mood disorders or are on psychiatric medication, consult your provider before use. Ritual suggestion. Make Damiana a small ceremony. Brew by candlelight. Play a short recording of quiet, evocative music, and write a 1-line invitation to your dream. An open-ended request like, "Show me what I need to see." Place the cup near the journal and sleep with the intention. 6. Blue lotus, Nymphaea caerulea. Anecdote and context. Blue lotus was sacred to ancient Egyptians. Its images and fragrances appear in tomb art and ritual contexts. It has a gentle, soporific reputation in some cultures and is associated with image-rich, symbolic dreams. Reported effects. Many describe blue lotus as inducing dreamy, symbol-laden states and a kind of relaxed receptivity. It can deepen the texture of dreams and make waking recall more poetic and layered. Layers. Preparation, legal note. Blue lotus's legal status varies by country and region, and its effects can be subtle or pronounced depending on dosage and individual sensitivity. If blue lotus is legal where you are, people typically prepare a light infusion or a milk-based preparation and consume it in the evening. Because laws and tolerances vary, I urge careful sourcing and moderation. Timing and frequency. Treat blue lotus as ritual, 1-2 times per week. Observe your reaction in small amounts and avoid combining it with other psychoactive substances. Safety and cautions. Check local legality and source from a reputable supplier. Do not use if you are pregnant, nursing, or taking medications without consulting a professional. If you have a history of psychiatric conditions, seek medical advice before trying blue lotus. Ritual suggestion. Use blue lotus in a dimly lit environment. Brew slowly, sit, and allow the aromas to settle. Keep your journal open and gently offer a safe question for dreaming. After drinking, let go of striving. This plant is about receptive surrender. 7. Ayahuasca, the river medicine. Anecdote and context. Ayahuasca is not a simple tea. It is a powerful, sacred ceremonial medicine made and stewarded by indigenous Amazonian peoples and practiced in controlled ceremonial contexts. For many communities, it is a central sacrament, wrapped in lineage, songs, and responsibility. Western interest has grown, but this is not a casual or recreational substance. Ceremonial note and legal verbatim. Ayahuasca is a ceremonial medicine and its legal status varies by country. It should not be prepared at home or used recreationally. Seek recognized ceremonial centers and qualified facilitators. Reported effects. In ceremonial settings, ayahuasca is reported to produce profound visionary experiences, intense emotional processing, and a reshaping of symbolic imagery, including dreams that can be integrating and long-lasting. Because of its potency and cultural significance, it belongs to trained circles and contexts that include diet, songs, and integration practices. Preparation and legality. I will not provide a home recipe or instructions. Proper ceremonial use involves trained facilitators, traditional protocols, and often specific dietary and medical preparations. If you feel called, research legal, reputable centers, seek facilitators who are accountable to their indigenous lineages or organized traditions, and ensure medical screening and psychological support. Safety and cautions. Ayahuasca can interact dangerously with many medications, particularly antidepressants and other psychoactive pharmaceuticals. It is contraindicated in many psychiatric conditions and is not safe for pregnancy. Again, ayahuasca is a ceremonial medicine and its legal status varies by country. It should not be prepared at home or used recreationally. Seek recognized ceremonial centers and qualified facilitators. Ritual and integration. If you attend a lawful ceremony, approach with humility, follow the facilitator's guidelines, and honor the community protocols. Integration, talking with a therapist or experienced sitter, journaling and resting, is as vital as the ceremony itself. Ayahuasca is not a shortcut. It is a deep process that requires care before, during, and after. Choosing and integrating these drinks into a practice. How to choose one or two plants to work with. Begin by asking what you need. Want calmer sleep and better recall? Start with lemongrass or lavender. Want more vivid imagery and a liminal edge? Try artemisia occasionally. Want clarity for evening practice? Mint plus rosemary in the earlier evening. Want a ceremonial opener? Something reserved and profound? Damiana or blue lotus in ritual contexts. Ayahuasca, if considered, requires serious research and legal ceremonial settings. A simple 3-night practice plan. Night 1, choose one gentle herb, lavender or lemongrass. Brew, set intention, and write one line in your dream journal before sleep. Night 2, repeat the same herb but add a 5-minute breath practice before bed. On waking, write everything you remember, even fragments. Night 3, try the chosen herb again. Compare notes in your journal. Notice patterns, symbols, themes, emotional tones. Frequency tiers. Household safe regular allies, lemongrass, lavender, up to nightly or 3 to 4x week depending on your response. Occasional ritual allies, artemisia, damiana, blue lotus, 1 to 2x week, keep special. Clarity meditative allies, mint plus rosemary, early evening use, 1 to 3x week. Ceremonial medicines, ayahuasca, in legal contexts, ceremonial only under qualified guidance. Journal prompts to deepen practice. What image follows me into sleep? What question did I hold this evening? What feeling arose upon waking? Use a dedicated notebook and date each entry. Over weeks, patterns become more visible. Safety, ethics, and respect. Clear lines. We must be clear and uncompromising on a few points. Some herbs are safe household allies, others belong to ceremonial life or controlled contexts. Do not mix psychoactives casually, and do not attempt to replicate ceremonial medicines at home. Respect the lineages from which these practices come. When indigenous or spiritual communities share a medicine with the world, approach with gratitude, learning, and ethical reciprocity. Legal and medical notes, verbatim. Ayahuasca is a ceremonial medicine, and its legal status varies by country. It should not be prepared at home or used recreationally. Seek recognized ceremonial centers and qualified facilitators. If you are pregnant, nursing, taking medications, or have a psychiatric diagnosis, consult a healthcare professional before using any of these herbs. Additional practical cautions. If you are on antidepressants or other psychiatric medications, do not experiment without medical guidance. Some substances can interact dangerously. If you have a history of psychosis, bipolar disorder, or uncontrolled mood conditions, avoid psychoactive plants without professional oversight. Even mild herbs can shift sleep architecture. Pay attention to changes in mood and sleep quality and stop use if you notice adverse effects. Source herbs responsibly. Avoid over-harvesting wild plants and prefer ethically cultivated or community-harvested sources. How to prepare a safe, sacred space for practice. Dim the lights or use a small lamp or candle. Put a notebook and pen within reach. Play quiet, supportive music or be in silence. Set a clear intention, one sentence, spoken softly or written. Keep water nearby and avoid driving or operating machinery if your night practice involved stronger medicines. A short checklist before you drink. Have you checked pregnancy or medication contraindications? If unsure, consult a healthcare professional. Is the herb legal and sourced responsibly? Have you chosen only one new variable? Don't mix herbs or psychoactives. Are you in a safe, familiar space with a plan for integration tomorrow? Do you have a journal and time reserved for waking reflection? Observing results and avoiding chasing experiences. Plant allies respond differently in different bodies and at different times of life. Start low, go slow, and cultivate curiosity rather than outcome chasing. If a night brings nothing dramatic, that night may still be rich. A calmer mind, a tiny image, a felt release. Keep notes and let patterns emerge without insisting on spectacular results. Final practical reminders about legality and ceremonial responsibility. Blue Lotus and Damiana have varying legal statuses in some places. Check local law. Ayahuasca. Do not prepare at home. Seek lawful ceremonial settings. Again, ayahuasca is a ceremonial medicine and its legal status varies by country. It should not be prepared at home or used recreationally. Seek recognized ceremonial centers and qualified facilitators. If this conversation has sparked curiosity and you'd like a safe, structured path forward, if you want detailed protocols, meditations, sourcing tips, and an integration template, the Herbs Code Guide covers all of that with step-by-step rituals, dream practices, and extended safety resources. Check the guide in the pinned comment if you want to go deeper. Parting reflection and invitation. Plants offer doorways, not guarantees. They teach us soft attention, reverent patience, and the importance of container. How we hold our intentions, whom we follow, and how we honor the lineages that teach us. If you try one of these drinks, keep a gentle curiosity. Notice the small changes in your dreams, your mood, and your waking intuition. Share one short sentence below. What plant have you used, or which one are you curious about? I read and learn from every comment. May your nights be restful, your dreams meaningful, and your search for inner sight guided by care. If you want step-by-step rituals, meditations, sourcing guidance, and integration templates, check the Herbs Code Guide, link in the pinned comment. Thank you for honoring the plants and the peoples who steward them. Peace, and see you in the next video.